Hey everybody, I wanted to do a video update to let you know what all has been going on with us, which is not a lot of anything, honestly. That's why I've not been doing as many updates or as many videos, because we've not been really doing a whole lot. The one thing I do want to tell you about is, first and foremost, when I showed you the video of us going to the horse show, I introduced you to Paige, the little girl who did the interview with me. She and I have kept in contact, and she text messaged me Saturday or Sunday and informed me that she was going to buy another horse, and while there she had somehow injured herself. She was in an accident and has broke her ankle. From what I gathered from the text message, it's a very severe break. She is going to have surgery on it in the morning on Wednesday. So if you guys could just say a little prayer for her, because I know that that has to be scary, and she's very young to have such a terrible injury, and it will unhorse her for a while, which I'm sure is not going to be easy. Another thing is, the reason that we went to the horse show was because Mara had wanted a pony, but then when I got the pony, she was afraid. She was very intimidated. So I took her to the horse show with the express purpose of immersing her into that world so that she could see what kind of a relationship her and Rosie could have. And it worked perfectly. She has now decided that she is going to be in a horse show. And so she has been working very hard to overcome her fear, and she has learned to ride Rosie by herself. And she's so proud of herself. She asked me to show you guys, so at the end of this, I'll show you a little clip of Mara riding Rosie by herself. I'm trying to think of anything else exciting that has went on. The goats. You've heard me yak on about the goats and how excited I am. We've got about 2 weeks before they are old enough to be picked up. And so this weekend I'm planning to go ahead and get the barn ready, because I don't want to be trying to run around like a chicken with his head cut off when he calls, because he may call me a little early. So I want to go ahead and get that finished. So that will be a project I'm working on this weekend. Another thing is, this weekend I may be going to the Amish farm. I still have not found anyone to till my garden for me. To rent a tiller around here is just as expensive as buying a tiller, and that is stupid because I only have a very small space. I've had people volunteer to till for me, but I can't afford to do the tiller and some of the other projects that I need that are more pressing right now. So I may end up doing container gardens. The straw bale garden is a big flop so far, except for one thing: my sugar snap peas. My sugar snap peas are doing fantastic. So, I mean, I at least got that out of it. The other bales I have moved and have actually made the wall, like a little squared off wall shape thing. And I'm putting compost in that. So I will actually use that to turn it into compost. So they did not die in vain. But I'm going to go to the Amish farm. I just like the way that they raise their food. So I will be going there to get already started plants so that I can at least have some, because my grandmother gave me more canning jars. So now I have close to 100 canning jars and no garden, and that is a terrible waste. Trying to think of anything else that is going on. Let's see. We talked about canning and the garden. Oh, the other thing. When I showed you the tour of our house, my kids are playing. When I showed you the tour of our house, in the background I told you the neighbor's farm that you could see that we'd never met them. We actually have finally got to meet them. These are some great people. They're fantastic. And in talking to them, we discovered that they are Native American. And I'll be honest with you, when you live in the South, I don't know about all of the South, but definitely in Eastern Tennessee where we are, if you say to someone, I'm Cherokee, I've got Cherokee Indian, I'm part Cherokee, it's an automatic that every person you speak to will tell you, oh, I'm part Cherokee, I'm part Cherokee. Oh, my mama was like full-blooded Cherokee. That has become such the norm that it almost makes a mockery of what it is to be a Native American. And it's not something that I talk about or brag about a lot, because, I mean, honestly, just the vast amount of people that say that they are has almost cheapened it, to be honest with you. It's just, I mean, I don't know how to say it without it coming out wrong. So I'll just tell you this. My family on my dad's side is German and Cherokee. And then on my mother's side, they have a smidgen of Irish in there. They have some German and a whole lot of Blackfoot. So I mostly would be Blackfoot Indian, and that's kind of strange for this area as well because they typically come from Montana, so they're more plains Indians. But that is what I recognize as, and that is what I go with. My children are all fair. If you look at them, you'll see them in the video. They're all fair skinned, fair haired. The 2 girls did get my dark black eyes, but the rest of them, they are very fair. And that is because my husband is very Scottish, very Irish, and he's got some German in there. He does have a little Cherokee thrown in there. I think pretty much everyone down the south has some sort of Cherokee because they were a very large tribe, very large band down here. So, you know, I'm sure you go back far enough, everybody's muddled up. So, I mean, I don't get angry when someone says it, but then when you have the people that they're like, yeah, they walk around in the caps that say proud to be Native American, and they're like blonde and blue eyed, and you're just like, good job. But the neighbor that we met, he informed us that he is late May going to have a powwow, like a true powwow. Not what you see when you go to the tribes or the reservations, or they come out and they have the shows. That's not a real thing. That is kind of like saying you went to Taco Bell to eat Mexican food. Same thing. They are going to have a naming ceremony. I'm almost 30 and I have never been named yet, and so I'm very excited about that. I am going to attempt to ask him for permission because he is an elder. Ask him for permission to film it. There will be several bands there and several tribes there that are going to be represented, several nations. I do know that he told me that there are some Apache coming, possibly some Sioux. I know for a fact Cherokee. My mother, myself, and maybe an aunt. I don't know if the aunt's coming or not. She'll probably comment and tell me yes. But I think she's coming as well. We are going to be representing the Blackfoot Nation. So there's going to be a lot of us coming. I'm super excited about it. I'm going to ask for permission to film because it's not something that is typically filmed. So I'm going to ask for that permission because I would love to share that with you guys, because the reality is if I'm inviting you in to learn about me and to learn about my house, my homestead and how it works, then I have to let you into all of it. And part of that is to know me, which is what I identify with. So I just wanted to let you guys know what all's going on, what all's coming up, what we've been doing, and I'm going to show you a quick clip of Mara Danielle riding her pony. Look at you! What are you doing?
Riding a horse.
Riding a horse?
Yeah.
You riding your very own pony?
Who?
Look at that. She's doing so good.
Solomon, go away.
Solomon, don't be swinging a lightsaber at the pony. Set up straight, baby. There you go. You're learning.